take a stake in the company.
Yeah.
And also, the signal we get from audio is that it's still very complicated to crack the code of the web radio business model, because here we're trying to offset the licensing costs with advertising, and that's proven to be pretty tricky. We can mention Pandora, of course.
Yeah, sure.
But also other examples of that.
Yeah, and I guess like one of the barriers of entry of audio was the fact that people had, I think they had to give credit card details before they could sign on, and I think they had a fairly extended free trial period, but there was still that barrier of it being a great free trial period because it had no advertising on it. But then again, at the end of that, if you wanted to become a user of the service, you had to pay. Now, with the fact that you can use the service for free, that becomes a whole different equation. So
it is very different from the offer from the offers from Spotify and Deezer, because.
Well, in a way, though, it's becoming the same now. Like it's moving towards that direction.
Yeah, but Deezer you have to pay. I mean, you can listen to 5 songs, I guess.
Okay, so Deezer doesn't have a freemium option.
No. Deezer is it's different. So that's why it's a good idea.
Okay,
and it's
cool.
good. Yeah. For Deezer, you have to listen to for free. You can listen to 5 songs, I guess. Only 5 songs. Yeah, for free.
That's
and then you have to listen to music, to listen to commercials, and then listen 5 songs. And it's not very, sexy. If I can use this word.
Going back to audio, what they did was, with this move, cutting a huge promotional cost, which was the cost of getting some traction from the user by letting them use the radio for free.
Yeah.
And now they can afford that, because even if they lose some traction, they will get the money from traditional advertising thanks to Cumulus.
Yeah. Sure, and streaming is the word of the week, really, because iTunes Radio launched last night in the United States. So of course, none of us has got a chance to try it yet. I should have got Benji out, because I think he's got the new iOS, and being from the States, he could access it. But the thing is that all of the reviews that I've read are saying that it's essentially exactly like Pandora. The only thing that's really improved is the experience on the purchasing side of music, so you can really buy tracks super easily. And so really, it's not a question of going, oh, look at all these new features. It's more of a question of going, okay, let's see how users react. Because, it's rolling out to tens of millions of people at the same time across the United States. So it's going to be a question of seeing how fast are these users going to adopt the new iTunes Radio.
First off, it was a predictable move. We've been talking about this for years. And it was predictable because Apple have an ecosystem. So it was just a consequence of what they've been doing so far. We don't know how they will react. Sure thing is Apple is, it's a hard blow for Pandora. As a matter of fact, Pandora is reacting by issuing new, we'll maybe talk about that later, but issue new shares. So using the money, diluting and using the money to probably acquire some solutions. And talking about blurring lines, because really streaming, paper, different models that are still proving us that we're living a very hybrid situation so far.
Yeah, and originally, of course, in France it's going to be difficult because they're going to have to do a deal with SACEM and everything else. But
we don't know Pandora in France. We don't know iTunes Radio in France. So.
But you reckon there is a market there for? Is there a big iOS adoption in France? And if so, do you think people that have an iPhone or an iPad are likely to use the service?
Yes, definitely. Look the data about Daft Punk.
Yeah.
For example, when you can